starting a little late. That's okay.
Scuff stream. It's fine.
God, if I break the stream,
I mean, it's only scuffed because, you know, my goons couldn't get here on time, so...
Also, just generally, how long does this last? Because I have an SAD tonight.
45 minutes to an hour. The first
Perfect.
one was 45 minutes on the dot, and the second one was like an hour and 5.
I mean, I was like, if it goes more than an hour and a half, I might need to peace out. But if it's just an hour, then that's fine.
I could just rig the points if you wanted to.
Do you not prefer being rigged?
Okay, I'm gonna start the 5-minute timer then. We're on stream, so don't say anything you're gonna regret, but like, it's whatever.
Can they hear us during the 5-minute timer?
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
They can hear all of
Oh,
us.
nice.
We're just,
Fun.
we're just
Nice.
chatting.
Cool.
Cool.
Goose, can I have you talk a little?
Yeah. Hello.
And Brady, can I have you talk? Make some.
Hello.
Perfect. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had you loud enough.
Why doesn't the stream work?
This video unavailable.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the stream not on?
It says this video unavailable.
Yeah.
5,000.
Yeah, video unavailable. Error 5,000. Error 5,000.
It said that we went live.
Yeah, it says you guys are live. It just says unavailable.
Oh, is Twitch broken? That would be cool.
That'd be delightful.
Oh, let's see, Tyler One's live right now.
It might just be because Chrome's being stupid.
I'm not even using Chrome.
I totally forgot about this shit.
Neato.
Don't worry though. I've already watched the clip and I've read the tweet. I'm ready to go.
If it's hella broken, we could just do a local recording and I can release it on YouTube maybe.
Yeah, it isn't working. Ooh.
So
What even
the
is
stream
error
good.
5,000?
It usually means that we can't connect to the Twitch server.
You might want to. Oh my god, yeah, I can't like watch any stream.
Let's just move the entirety of Get
Move it to
Back to
Mixer.
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 Oh no.
Oh, it's working. It's working.
Oh
now.
yeah, I see it now. I see it.
Oh,
It's working.
Holy.
Oh,
Woo!
We still got 2.5 minutes left,
Yeah,
boys.
I-
We good.
Plus it's
Yeah, we're fine.
not
There
like
we
we're
go.
bound to the timer anyway. Okay.
I mean, you're not wrong there. It's okay. My chat isn't working though, and that's the
Alright.
most important part.
I see
It's
chat.
like-
Wing Nation's going off.
This is like PTI.
It's around the horn. Essentially.
Around the horn. Yeah, shit, sorry. Okay. So I'll probably be first eliminated.
No, guaranteed I'm the first eliminated right here.
I bet you this skin.
Nah.
Would you like to put money on that? I am in fact a betting man.
He is. I say you take that, because I'd say you have at least 50% chance of winning it.
What I'm saying is.
Plus
if
it's not like the points are determinate or anything. I'm sitting here clicking buttons, so.
Who have you had on Diamond and Plat so far?
Oh god. Plat was Winged,
No,
Ari Panda.
Not necessarily like that. You've had those divisions.
Oh yeah, we've had both of the divisions so far. This
Okay.
is the
Well, this will be the most educational stream for the viewers, without a doubt.
yeah for sure.
Hey, this is the most wholesome gold chat has ever been.
This is true.
Well,
It's
yeah.
been, what, 2 weeks without a flame?
No,
It's
there was
been like
flame
2 days
yesterday.
without
There was flame yesterday.
I was playing it yesterday. Rest in peace.
It's okay. So Goosey, tell me about you and Levi's love.
He sent me some pictures one time, and I told him I wasn't impressed, and ever since then, he hasn't liked me. But I
Crushing.
told him, and I want a friendship out of it. He wants more.
I'm sorry to hear that, my friend.
I'm
friend zone.
so sorry to hear that. My condolences go out to Levi's for this.
We'll get more in depth on that. You know, I wish nothing but the best for Levi's, and I love him. So.
I mean, if you love him, then
He does suck at 80
That-
carry though.
Oh, shade.
that's not why.
He's top 10 in the league for sure.
I would agree.
I don't know. Our team's had 280 carries, so I think it's going to be at least top one.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Damn.
we've had what, 2 mids, 2 tops, 280 carries. I know we've got 3 mids now.
How do we have 3 mids?
Zale, Tall Guy, and me have all played mid.
Ah.
Anyway, this is an intro video that we're talking over, so that's cool.
I actually really like this intro.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid intro video. Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of Lane by Lane. This is our gold flavored edition. My name is Aristematic. I'm your typical wonderful host. We're going to score some arguments. We're going to talk about GRLCS. We're going to talk about Worlds. We're going to have the most educational opinions possible. Let's meet our panelists. If you want to start us, B-Pots, give us your name, your team you play for, and your favorite esports team.
Hello, my name is B-Pots. I play 80 carry for Big Fat Ant, and my favorite esports team is 100 Thieves.
I'm Goosey. I play support currently for the Mighty Ducks, and my favorite esports team is CLG Big Dixie.
All right. Yeah, that's you.
Zale.
Go.
Hello?
Yeah, you've got
Alright.
this.
Hello, I'm Zale. I play Phil Roulette for Return to Middle 6 Gold. And my favorite esports team was probably... Oh, man. Shoot, what were they called? It was the old rivalry with SKT 4 Worlds ago.
And
Samsung,
Samsung, yeah.
It wasn't Samsung. It was the other one.
Griffin.
Royal
Royal
It was
Never Give Up.
Starhorn Royal Club.
No,
I
it was a
got
Korean
this.
team.
Just say
A
Koreans.
Korean team, KT Rolster then.
Was it Rocks?
Yes, Rocks.
Oh,
thank you.
Rocks. Okay.
The original
Unlucky.
Rocks.
Original Rocks Tigers. That's a
Cool.
solid choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Sorry.
his favorite
Yeah,
team. He
cool.
doesn't remember their name.
Two Tigers.
Okay, and hello, my name is Noah Sirene Hassoun. I play top lane or jungle or support sometimes as Singed for Team 63 /. And my favorite esports team is a tie between G2 and FlyQuest.
That's pretty separate teams. All right.
Exactly.
No TSM fans, so I don't have to dock points. That's a good start. All right. Topic number 1 for the day on the table for you guys. I need to know who the best jungler in gold capped is. Bonus point if you don't pick your own jungler.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Brady is going to start.
Yo, why aren't stats pinned?
The best jungler in Gold Cap. Let me think about that. I'm going to have to go with our own jungler, actually. In terms of jungle pressure, I think that our jungler is unmatched. We started off the season a little rocky, but we've been working on some picks that we think are going to shock the rest of the league going into the back end of the split. And so while my answer seems a little incorrect as of right now, come the back end of the split, you guys are going to be entertained.
All right, betting on future for who is the best gold cap jungler. Goosey, let's
You know,
I would probably, scrambles. He's scrambles. I would probably go with Godzilla. Godzilla's my boy. Godzilla's a beast on Zach. He's I don't know. He's got a lot of presence. He's averages. He's top 10, I believe, in least deaths. And he's got a pretty good KDA and assist ratio. And I don't know. I feel like Godzilla's very impactful. So I would pick Godzilla.
all right, Zale.
Honestly, I have to say it's Panther. I mean, the man literally facilitates so much for his team, playing almost entirely tanks the split, being the frontline decision maker, and his stats reflect it really well too. He's top 5 for least deaths per game, top 5 for least deaths period, and the man has amazing high KDA. Plus, he's also on the boards for most assists for the whole split, which is what you want out of your jungler, especially a tank where they don't want them to have kills, but facilitate that gold.
All right, Syrian.
Okay, I am also going to go with Panther. So Panther, everyone knows him as a person who plays only 3 champions: Zac, Amumu, Sejuani. Given, he's been playing these 3 champions his entire GRLCS career. He plays these 3 champions very well. He takes it to another level, and he's extremely consistent.
Sorry. Responding to chat very. Anyway, Beepots Goosey, do you have anything? Why do you value Villananners and Godzilla over Panther?
I mean, a Panther's a 2-trick. Plain and simple. I think Zac and Amumu is all you can play. Sejuani was a busted champion. It's not that hard of a champion to play. I could play jungle and dominate gold cap with that champion a patch or two ago. It's not as strong now. It's still pretty up there because gold jungles only play tanks. But yeah, I don't know. I think Panthers is kind of a 2-trick.
Yeah, I think Panther is good. He's definitely one of the best junglers in the league, but we've seen our jungler, at least, he's played some Nunu, some tanks, some Zac in the beginning of the split, but he's recently played some Evelyn as well. So I think in terms of flexibility, I think Villananners is up there.
All right. Our next thing, I gave you guys a tweet heads up. I'm gonna go ahead. I have to put it on stream really quick because this is high quality broadcasting. Fion on Fire tweeted, Riot has done a really good job strengthening the prestige and legacy of its esports division. Unlike Fortnite and other world titles, the prize money isn't the headline. So number one, do you agree with this, that the prize money isn't the headline? And number two, what do you think Riot's done in order to kind of draw that attention away from the prize money and toward the prestige of the championship? Goosey is going to start.
I think if you look at long term, Riot, in League of Legends specifically, has had sustainable success. If you look at all these other genres that have been real big, i.e. Fortnite and stuff, they still have a pretty big following. But their esports, it's not. I mean, they're not listening to their players, and Riot does some pretty shitty things every now and again. When in terms of patches and everything, but a long-term sustainable success, I think Riot's found the formula. They don't drastically change the game, like Fortnite adding fucking. I'm not a Fortnite player, but I heard mechs are like everyone hates them, and it kind of ruined the game. And when you're pro scene, and especially if you're not listening to your pro scene and your pro players on the adaptability of the game and where it's at, and not taking that into consideration, then you're not going to have long-term success. And I think Riot does a really good job of doing that.
All right, Zale.
I think a lot of it has to deal with the long-running history and where League started, right? League started at an extremely small prize pool. The players did it off the passion of their hearts for the game, never for the money, except for those very rare individuals. And those rare individuals were not the ones that became like those streaming headlines, the ones the articles were written about. And I just continue that culture of passion, competitiveness that a lot of the other games that we have now don't actually carry. For example, like some of your other bigger names are like Dota and Hearthstone, or Here's a Storm that it used to be a few years ago, and then even some of the other like MOBAs that have been overmade. When I played them, when Worlds came around, they pocketed money so hard, saying, "Oh, we'll give you this item, you give us $5, and we'll throw half at the Worlds," and then just did that over and over for all these other games. I think brought that culture to even the player base that hey, money for the world players. I think it was just a culture that came from the beginning that was built up over the time.
All right, Cyrene.
Okay, so first off, I don't think it was necessarily Fortnite's fault that the prize money became the biggest thing about the headline. The whole thing of Fortnite was extremely. Oh, yeah, sorry that I'm extremely loud, I guess.
Oh, you're fine. I just need to bump you down a little.
All good. So the fact that Fortnite was extremely popular with children, with it basically swept the nation by storm. So many companies wanted to put money in it that Fortnite got that huge prize money headline. So it isn't necessarily Fortnite's fault that it got that big prize money headline. But Riot does a great job in keeping people watching, keeping people interested. They up the ante each year with Worlds, and they keep on just doing what they can do to make sure that Worlds is as best as it can be. It isn't necessarily that world, because if you ask me right now, what is the prize money for Worlds? I could not tell you. I know exactly which teams are playing in play-ins right now because it's something that everyone is interested in, and League of Legends and Riot does a very good job of keeping people interested.
All right, Peapots.
I think that I think the reason why the championship has built such a prestige in contrast to the prize pool is that Riot's done a good job of A, building its narratives around the World Championship, and B, they have done a regular season format structure that allows you to follow all the teams, not just from your own North American or whatever region, but from regions around the world. And then once you see those seasons culminate and you see the champions and the teams that go through the regional qualifiers or qualify through other methods, I think it's really entertaining to see the best just battle it out. In terms of a game like Fortnite, at least when I was watching, I was kind of interested in the game and I knew some people, but going into the World Championship where it was just the best 100, I didn't know half the names. And so I think that keeping the making a format in which it's easy to follow for the player or for the viewer, sorry, allows the World Championship to be more prestiged as opposed to the prize pool. As well, it kind of helps that some teams and regions have been building their own narratives. For instance, like SKT, they built up such a dynasty. Now, even if you don't play the game anymore actively, it's still somewhat interesting to tune in and see, ooh, is SKT playing, or are they in the finals, or in a broader span, like is the West region is catching up now, and even if you don't play the game, it's still really interesting to see like the Western teams being able to actually have a shot at the championship this year.
Can I add something?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that also another thing, like with League of Legends and Riot specifically, is how they market their players and how the players market themselves. Because when you look at like these individual tournaments and even like the Fortnite, duos or uh, quads or whatever you want to call them, they're not. I don't know. There's not as much traction in that. When you have like a team, like a sports team, a generic sports team too, like the uh, New England Patriots. We'll use them tonight. Which, by the way, go Giants. I'm an Eagles fan, but I hate the Patriots. Those. I think it allows the audience to be feel more involved in the way they market their players with their backstories and stuff, and all their intro videos, pre-game stuff like that. Definitely, I don't know, just add some more. Just a more realistic feeling, and you're more involved as a fan.
All right, jumping back to GRLCS for a little bit. Um, we've been languishing for action basically due to the bye week. Do you guys like or hate the bye week? Zale.
I think the bye week is honestly not the best thing to have because it throws off a bit of a competitive edge for some people because it now no longer forces you to play every week. Even though it does give you more time to scrim and practice some stuff, some teams do not take that seriously. And I think it's taken even less seriously for some people compared to a cross-conference week, which to me says a lot. Because I think the community very knows if cross-conference doesn't count, nobody takes them seriously. And I just think keeping that competitive edge week to week helps drive a lot of players to continually improve and test out things. And I just think it drives the competitive spirit better in the community.
All right, Siren.
I also do not like the cross conference week. During that entire week, Gold Chat as a whole basically died out. If you looked at it, not really anyone was talking. No one was really interacting with each other. Team 63 / personally didn't do anything. Like, we just said, okay, you guys, see you guys next week. This week doesn't really matter. We'll talk about everything later. Like, I understand why the bye week needs to happen so that we have this nice 10-week schedule, but I feel like that the bye week could have been moved before quarterfinals, or giving 2 weeks for quarterfinals would have been a much better option, just so that there was a lot more versatility in planning for those games. And just as also just someone in the community that is active, I do plat casting. I sometimes host Get Recalled, which again is going to be tomorrow. I just completely forgot about the entire community during the bye week because I didn't have any obligations to play that week.
All right, B-Pots.
I'm going to preface my response by saying that this is my first split in the league, and so I actually don't know what it's like to not have a bye week. Me personally as well, I don't really like the bye week. That may have... I do understand, as everyone else has said, I do understand that it needs to happen because of scheduling with the other leagues and such, but I feel that a week that's either like right after the end of the regular split would be more beneficial to teams because it allows them to prepare, as Siren said, to prepare for their playoff series. As a team that is 0-6 right now, I don't think that playoffs is a chance for us. But I do think that the bye week would be better suited for the teams that are going to be in the playoffs fighting.
All right, Goose.
First off, like 0-6 feels bad, man. You guys are still better than GSM though. However, on the bye week, I'm not a big fan of it. I think that my team's boosted and needs practice, a lot. So, but overall, as a competitive, shout out to last night's gold chat. Revived it a little bit, getting back into the ring of things with our week coming up. We have streamed this weekend. I think most gold caps games were played, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I think that personally, bye week, I don't think that it should exist. And honestly, I would like to play every team twice throughout a split overall. Or even if in that bye week that maybe it's kind of just a random team where you play one team twice throughout the year or something. I think that adds a lot more chances for like teams to maybe redeem themselves or get those tiebreaker situations a little more stressed out.
All right. So as we focus in just a little bit on the standings, we have 3 teams tied, currently at 2 and 3 in slots 5 through 7. It's Crabs, Return of the Middle Sticks, and FF15, please. I need to know which one of those teams is not gonna make playoffs. And Cyrene, we're gonna start with you.
So I've been talking about these teams so much, looking at these teams. But just looking at these, I still think FF15 please is the weakest team out of those 3 teams. They just, as much as they've looked extremely strong, just looking at their hit games that they won against Flex and they won against, it doesn't actually say. And they run against Return of the Middle Sticks. While yes, Return of the Middle Sticks did have a rocky start at the beginning, it does look like they are doing a lot better this time around, like right now versus at the beginning of the split. So I definitely think Return of the Middle Sticks will be able to make it. I feel like they've been extremely strong, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Return of the Middle Sticks. And then Flex, honestly, I didn't think was a very good team. I still don't think is a very good team. So it's just a lot of give and take. I don't think that FF15 please makes it.
All right, B-Pots.
This is a hard answer for me because I haven't really watched much of the Gold Cup besides like our teams and a few other teams. And out of the 3 there, the only team that we've actually played is Return of the Middle Sticks. So we do play the Crabs next week. I do think that Return of the Middle Six looks strong. I have to agree that I think that FF15 Please is going to be the team that's going to fall under the playoff line. We played Return of the Middle Sticks, and they seemed pretty strong, especially with their Middle Sticks mid pick, or Fiddlesticks mid pick, sorry. I don't know much about the Crabs, so this one as a whole is really hard to tell, but if I had to go with any team, it'd be FF15.
Okay, Goosey.
Out of all the ones that the 3, 2, and 3 teams that could, I think that Krabs is actually going to be the one that gets in out of the 3.
So
I
two
think
get in. We need the one that gets out.
2. Okay,
Sorry to interrupt.
so I would say Krabs and ROTM get in, and I would also agree that FF15 goes out. Um, I think that's we have played. Yeah, we played FF15 in week 2. I can't quite remember that matchup per se. But I think we've scrimmed Crabs a couple times, and I think that they've had some pretty solid scrims. They have some potential, but yeah, I would have to agree that with I think the majority of us here that FF15 is the one that gets dropped.
Zale, you gonna throw FF15 under the bus too?
So to be honest with you, I think Crabs will actually go out. And here's my reasoning why. So look at the schedule left, right? Crab has to play ROTM, and they also have to play FF15. So those two teams have a chance of beating them. And that would throw the whole group into a chaos then, because then you'll have that tribe-based taker. But then you have the wild card of GMB, where GMB still has to play Ducks, Flex, RTM, and F15. So GMB has a chance of winning 2 of those games, and if they end up beating against uh, the F15 game, then they actually have a chance of taking them out entirely and actually beating them for the record and taking their place potentially as well into like 7th and dropping 15 to 8th. Just based on schedule, our TM and Crab have an easier time of making it to the last 2 slots because what does our team have to play left, right? They have GSM and Kaiju, which are tough games, but the other 2 games seem a lot more favorable, including the Crab RTM game. And as they said, our team's looking a lot stronger lately. Maybe they've finally picked up what they need. But I mean, Crab just has a really rough schedule finishing it out, other than the BFA TI game. I think that's the only one where they may have an easier chance of winning comparably to what the other schedules look like right now.
All right. Shifting just a little bit, there's been some talk, and I guess especially compared to TFT. There's no promo series in TFT when you're trying to rank up, but there still is when you're playing solo or flex queue. Do you guys like or hate playing in the promo series? And if you hate it, what do you think needs to be done to fix it? B Potts is gonna start.
Um, Personally, I do like the promotion series. I think that I'm not sure how it works in TFT. If you drop below 0 LP in a division, do you automatically get demoted?
No.
Yeah,
No?
you just go
Yes.
through the floor. So you in TFT you hit 0, and then if you don't earn LP the next game, you just drop.
Okay.
There's no cushion.
Yeah, I don't really play TFT. I don't know. So I think that the promo series is a little stressful, but I would take the promo series as a trade-off for hitting 0 LP in a division and automatically getting demoted. I think that the promo series is just sort of a way to play with. So I don't know how I was going with that. So yeah, I'll just say I think the promo series is a good trade-off for not hitting 0 LP and going right through the floor.
All right, Goosey.
I would say that I'm probably against promo series. I think they should kind of incorporate something the way that it is in the hierarchy, Masters and Challenger. And let's just first off focus that if you play flex, ranked flex, your elo is beyond flecked up. Like I don't know if you guys play ranked flex at all, but I mean there's no consistency there. 1 minute I'm playing against like 3 bronze, and the next minute I have a master and 2 diamond 1 players in my game.
Preach, brother. Preach.
So they need to they need to either figure out something with the elo system, especially when it comes to like rank flex. But overall in the rank system, I think that they should have it kind of tiered to where you fall out and fall into certain ranks based off of your LP in general. I.e., like I think I don't know what the and I'm not for sure what it takes to fall out of challenger. Because I've never been challenger. Spoiler alert. But I think that they should set a number of players roughly, look at the database and see how many people are in each division, and then kind of slowly integrate some sort of LP based leveling system in ranked. And I think that matching, especially in ranked flex, based off of where you're at in your elo and not necessarily your division, would help mitigate a lot of these lopsided queues.
All right, Zale.
I am against promos. And through all the various modes I played, I think League needs to really adopt kind of what Heroes of Storm used to do with their system, where instead of having like 100 then win loss in the series, that they adopt the point based, where when you hit 1,000 points, your next game has potential to promote you, and if you do win, you immediately get bonus points, right? So say you're at the 1,000 points, you win a game, now you get 110 points. You start off the next grouping, wherever that may be at that points, and you have a cushion immediately. Whereas right now, say you get the series, promote, and you lose, you have no idea how many losses it takes now that where you get knocked down. My first season playing ranked, I got to the promotion game, made it up, and it took 3 losses before I finally demoted. And I was like, all 0 LP. There's no consistency, like I said earlier, about how much LP it takes to lose, to demote, and even promotion. It just feels so much more pressure than just playing a regular game or two. I think it's unnecessary stress that some players have to deal with. And I actually like how like Masters, Challenger, all of them do, because they just have an LP system. Those players don't stress over what rank they are unless they're trying to shoot for one. They just play games because ultimately it's just a number. It's not, oh shoot, I gotta win this series. I gotta win this 5th game where I get fucked over for the season. Especially at that end of the season when everybody panics. And I also think it helps too with some of the potential problems with sandbagging. I saw that a lot less with that system too. I
Alright.
know that's been a huge plague, especially in gold.
So Cyrene, you don't enjoy the adrenaline of being in that promo series?
First off, thank you, Zale, for calling me out. So I actually really like the promo series. It's an unpopular opinion, but so first off, I want to talk about the whole TFT promo idea. With TFT, there isn't really a win or lose. Like, you can get first place and you are the clear winner in TFT, but if you get 4th place in a TFT match, you still get LP. So it doesn't necessarily make sense to have a promo series in TFT because of that reason. However, in League of Legends, in normal League of Legends gameplay on Summoner's Rift, there's only 2 teams, red or blue. One comes out victorious, the other comes out losing. The idea of promos is when you get there, you have to show your worth. Do you deserve this rank? Trust me, as someone who made it to Plat 1 promos and then failed all the way down to Plat 4, I understand how terrible promos are. At sometimes I want to destroy promos, but the system works. The promos help so much because it's basically saying, are you good enough for this rank? Prove it to us. It doesn't matter about your LP gain. It doesn't matter about your MMR. It matters how good of a player you are. Can you change the state of the game to where you promote or no?
All right.
So I have one point I'd like to bring up, if that's all right.
Okay, yeah.
So that's something I'd slightly disagree with too, because what if you end up with that terrible player that like their normal MR is way out of sync, right? Like you're stuck with that game, and the way League has become now, it's turned so much to a team focused game. It doesn't matter how good you are. I think it's turned into a state of who has the worst player, almost a sense, because that crutch can be so terrible and detrimental now. Whereas like 4 seasons ago, as long as you were a really solid, strong player that got ahead, you could possibly solo carry a whole team. But that's been changed from Riot after these several years.
And I completely agree. Yeah.
I think
That-
that if they keep it on the promo games right now, they need to find something to give you immediate answers if you get like an AFK or something like in your game. Because honestly, that's the most tilting shit when you don't even have a chance to win your game.
I agree too. Like when you have that one player that rage quits because you took their buff, even though they're like 0-4.
All right.
Yeah.
Am I right?
We're gonna jump back to Worlds for just a second. I sent you guys the clip of Yankos. I'm just gonna play it for the stream. It's just gonna be audio. So apologies, you can't see Yankos having a meltdown, but hopefully you can still hear it just fine on the stream.
The Western, okay, everyone said that the Western teams can beat the Eastern teams, like G2 can be like Korea and China, and same goes for like the Nuke and stuff. But we did scream some Asian teams, and guys, oh my god, they are actually good at the game. We were so cocky and we thought they are not good at the game, but they are actually so fucking good at the game, guys. Get me out. Oh my god. I think I'm just playing Listen again. The West.
Oh, sorry, I restarted it. There we go. Okay, so with that clip, do you think, number one, do you think Yankos is just trolling, or are you really worried about G2 now at Worlds, Goosey?
I mean, NA greater than EU. Okay. First off, let's establish that. Okay. Maybe not technically, but gotta support the boys. I think that if you underestimate any of the Korean teams or any of the Chinese teams over there right now, honestly, like even DM1 Gaming, like I think those guys are like super favored to be in playoffs and make it out of groups. I don't think any EU West or NA team has a free buy within their individual brackets to make it out of group stages. I believe it's top two in each group to go. And I did my pick'ems, and I think I only have one NA team making it out of groups, and that's Team Liquid. But I still think that they're going to be behind Game One Gaming. And IG2 has been good, and they've they won MSI last, but I don't think the competition was as stiff as at MSI as it is at Worlds this year.
All right, so Goosey's firmly in the worried camp, Zale.
I don't feel that worried because G2 was super solid. They have Fnatic, who's been to Worlds with them too, where they can train together. And let's be honest, if there's any team that's going to troll us, it's G2, a team that plays Kazakh's top and all that. I think they've been a little disrespectful towards the end of EU, and I think this is part of them getting humility, and hopefully they will brandish themselves better for Worlds. And I think they have that capability. They have the support structure. They have the history. They have the players. And Yankos has always been a fun spirit to make jokes like this, to just let it all out and troll around. Even on the Rift, outside the Rift, he's just been that kind of person. And even in groups, G2, I think, is guaranteed to get out of Group A. Their only competition is Griffin and Cloud9. Griffin is a bit of a miss when it comes to the series. And I'm going to be honest, Cloud9, without some of their star players in the past, I don't think they're going to have the same showing they had last Worlds. So I think G2 is going to be in a strong spot. I think they're still going to have a hard time going through some of the Eastern teams, but I mean, that was a given for any team, really. I think they can compete with the top of them, and I think they're going to make it at least semis.
All right, Siren.
So if you watch any G2 videos, if you watch their comms at all, if you have their team pass, you can immediately tell how cocky G2 players are. They're extremely fun to watch. They're extremely funny to watch. But at the end of the day, they are extremely cocky. So when Yankos says, oh my God, like we were super cocky going into this, we completely underestimated them. I think it's a legitimate concern that he is bringing up. He is legitimately saying that, well, when we scrimmed them, we were super cocky. We got our butts basically handed to us because of that. So hopefully moving on, we won't be as cocky. We will play seriously. Obviously, we'll still be playing in our fun nature and everything, but we need to take these Korean, Asian teams seriously. Otherwise, we're going to get our butts destroyed.
So you're not worried so much as thinking that he's just using that as a wake-up call.
Yes.
Okay. B-Pots?
I think the biggest mistake that G2 could make at this point is basing their entire Worlds camp off the fact that they won MSI and they don't need to practice as hard for Worlds. I think that MSI shouldn't be a good indicator as to where you are in comparison to the rest of the world. Of course, G2 won MSI, but teams such as SKT or IG may not have taken MSI as seriously. I think that G2, though, is the kind of team that can be all cocky and funny, but then when it comes time to work, they go out and they put on a show. They've won, I think it's the last 4 European splits. I think I also have to agree with Cyrene. I think that in the G2 camp right now, they are getting their butts handed to them in scrims, but I think that they're definitely able to rev it up a notch and go out and put a good showing out at Worlds.
So you're less worried and still think that it's just them saying it's a wake-up call, basically.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to do well. I think they'll probably top their group.
All right. So Riot has finally blessed us with the Phoenix music video. I don't care so much about the video just now, but the video itself highlights a lot of like failures and difficult moments for the players that are in the video. So like you have Faker on Karma who got caught out by Ruler's Varus during the World Final and basically lost it. So I want to know what champion is that going to be for you? What champion is representing your failure? And maybe just give me a good story time about it. Zale's gonna start.
Oh boy, my failure. I think my biggest failure champion that would be a revival would have to be Azir. So Azir is one of those champions that I have always struggled to pick up, even at a strong point. And when it came time to I've practiced him, I pushed the hours, I pushed the time into it for the splits over the years, knowing I'm going to be a mid for a lot of the part of what I play, GRLCS. And the few times where it mattered most to play as champion, I pulled it out. Holy crap, that my Azir missed every shuffle that mattered. I got the ones where no one else could help, but the ones that decide the team fights, just those shuffles. I mean, it was rough. There's never been a riff shuffle as terrible as mine, I bet, in all of gold. But the redemption, you may just see it as a year again, the split.
Oh, the comeback for the Azir. Cyrene, what's that champion for you?
God, mine is Kled. So Kled's kit is fairly basic. You auto, you Q, you E sometimes, and you ult to engage. I, for some reason, cannot understand this kit for my life. I apparently go in at the worst of times. Apparently, the champion's super easy to play and super OP, according to everyone else on my team who has had great showings on this champion, except for me. They're always like, oh, you can play Kled, you can play Kled. And I'm just like, I can't play Kled. Like we were doing it sometimes in scrims, and I was just like, you guys, I have level 5 mastery on this champion, and the best I have done is 2 and 10. Like, this champion is the bane of my existence for some god-forsaken reason. I managed to do well one time. I think I went 5 and 4, and it was one of the happiest experiences of my life. I don't think I will ever pull out this champion in GRLCS because for some reason, it doesn't matter how OP the passive is giving you 3/4 of your health bar back. I just can't play the champion.
All right, B-Pots.
I'm in I play 80 carry on my team for Big Fat Int, but I have to say that one of the biggest champions that I've played and I've been trying to pick up is Lee Sin. Back when I first started playing League and I was really low elo, like I was bronze for God knows how long, I used to play jungle quite a bit, and I would two trick Lee Sin in Italy, and I would climb out of bronze with Lee Sin, and I used to think that I was so good at him. But then I played with my friends who were like silver, gold elo, and we play like rank flex or whatever, and I'd play Lee Sin, and I would just get like destroyed. It wasn't even funny. Like I'd go into games and I wouldn't be able to even land like a simple R into Q combo. Like it was crazy. So I've been trying to play Lee Sin a lot, and I'm looking to. I've spent time in like practice tool. I've spent a lot of time on him, so I'm hoping to bring him back into solo queue, and maybe use him to climb at the end of this season, and I guess next season as well.
All right, Goose, who's that champion for you?
All right, let's be honest here. Let me hit it with a couple facts here. All right, first off, any champion you have to steer, like Scion and Kled or whatever, I'd be crashing into walls all the time. So I feel you there, Sirene. And
You don't have to steer Cledol.
whatever.
That's a bet
maybe that's why I don't fucking know what I'm doing on it, champion. But and then I think as an AD carry main myself, even though I play support, I think it goes without saying that the first champion you try to main outside of AD carry is Lee Sin. So much respect. But I'd probably say for me myself, is Katarina. My eyes don't move that fast. Like ever since they reworked her, I've tried to play her. I used to play her a lot, like in mid and stuff, like her and LeBlanc. Thank God they reverted LeBlanc back to her old self. But Katarina, you ever see anybody get pinned on Katarina? I don't know how their eyes move that fast.
Goosey, may I offer you try just slamming your head on the keyboard and rolling it around? I hear it works extremely well.
I hear it's the official guide.
It's like it's insane. You know, it makes it's good for a highlight reel, but that's how I know that I'm probably never going to be challenger because I'm never going to master something like Katarina. That shit's way above my pay grade.
In solidarity,
I just right click. That's all I do.
In solidarity, since we're all sharing our embarrassing moments, mine was 2 splits ago. We're 5-0. We're going into cross conference week. We're playing TLP. They're also 5-0. They're like, we're gonna troll a little bit. So what do I do?
This.
I go into a couple normal games. I play Hecarim top. Teleport Ignite. Oh my god, is it the best pick? I go 16-2 in one game. I go 13-2 in the next game. We're gonna bring this out. So we get in there. They counter pick Hecarim top with Jarvan. I go 0-8. It is the most embarrassing experience I've had in GRLCS to date. And then they streamed that game, even though the other one was closer. So just to rub that one into the wound just a little bit.
I remember this.
So solidarity, mine's Hecarim top. I love the champion. It's super fun. I can't play it in competitive, apparently. Anyway, into more positive territory. We have a big matchup Saturday between GSM and Kaiju Gaming for first place. I need to know who's the better bot lane? Levi's and Silver Spade or January and CRXN? Siren, you're going to start.
I'm ready.
Oh my god. Why did you make it bot lane?
I'm ready for this one. Sign me up.
First off, give it up to Marisamatic to make the lane that he chooses us to look into the furthest away from anything I touch. But as much as I love Kaiju's bot lane, January and Crixon I think are extremely good players. I have to give it to Levi's and Silver Spade, not because Levi's is a good ADC, but because
Agreed.
Silver Spade is a damn good support. Like,
Agreed.
he is easily by far the best support in this league. He might even be the best support in Plat League because he's He's extremely good. He plays Morgana. He plays Thresh. He predicts wherever you are going to be, no matter where you are. This man is in your head 24/7 throughout the entire lane. He will bully you out of lane. He will murder you constantly. And then for some odd reason, he'll be top lane at 12 minutes, killing you some more because why not?
All right. B-Pots, do you have faith in my opinion, the best ADC in the league, January, or you giving it to the support main?
One thing I'm gonna say about the matchup, looking at the standings, which I think is really interesting, is that Silver Spade is second and Levi's is fourth in terms of the least deaths in the league, and January is second in the league for most kills. So I think it's going to be a battle of if Silver Spade and Levi's are able just to avoid January's aggression. But I would have to go with the side of Silver Spade and Levi's. I think Silver Spade's a really good support. I haven't played against January before, so I haven't been able to feel his aggression or his wrath. So maybe if you asked me this question after we played Kaiju, the answer would be a whole lot different. But I think for now I have to go with Levi's and Silver Spade.
All right, Goosey.
All right, first off, Levi's, do you hear this? Nobody's talking about you. They're talking about Silver Spade. Okay? Silver Spade is a freaking animal. He's a beast. Probably shouldn't be in gold cap. Probably shouldn't be in plat capped. You know, he's a beast. But I think that January is going to clap them cheeks. I think that CRXN is not that far behind in Silver Spade. I think he's a pretty decent support as well. Now, me, I'm number one. Silver Spade's number two. CRXN is probably three. You know, those are just the facts. But I think January mechanically, late game wise, you know, they GSM plays frontline heavy team comps. So you have to find a way to mitigate that, and they travel to as a team well together, which allows Levi's to get those little kills that he gets. They're good at not last hitting, so he fills his stat sheet and he gets a participation trophy. But overall, I'm expecting Kaiju to come out there and clap them cheeks, and my boy January, that guy's having an MVP caliber season, and you know I think he's the second best AD carry in gold caps. I think Dirty Audacity on my team is actually a little better. But January is the real deal. So is Silver Spade, but I think there's a bigger discrepancy between January and Levi's than there is between Silver Spade and CRXN.
All right, Zale.
Nice.
Ooh, honestly, I gotta give it to Kaiju. So, yes, bot lane is very dependent on support power, but you also have to look at the styles that they play, right? So CRXN plays a lot of casters as well as these engaged supports. Casters dominate lane right now, and January has shown that if he can get a lead, he can own that lead for the whole game based on his mechanical skill. Even look at the kill participation percentages. CRXN and January both have higher. January is actually massively ahead in kill participation percentage. It's 77 to 54%. And Silver Spade's even under kill participation too, no matter how much he roams. Which, if you're roaming as well as that is, and your kill participation's still lower, that speaks a lot to me. Especially with how he carries these kill pick champions. It should be phenomenally higher. And these games aren't as protective for the AD carry, in my opinion, for Silver Spade, considering the leads that he tries to get for his team. I just think Silver Spade is good, but I just think the combination of Junior and CRXN is better because he facilitates that damage, he facilitates the early lane pressure, and the way they just rotate and carry that lead, I think it's just better, both as individuals and as a lane. And to me, what important is not just one player better, just how can they carry what they get. I think they just carry it better for their team.
All right, so that's going to do it for round number one. Checking at the points, B-Pots, you've got the lowest total. Do you have any words for your Doing fans?
Thank you so much for supporting me. As a team, big fat in. I know it's looking grim, but if you believe in us, the 3-6 record will be more of a possibility. I'm not saying it's certain, but 3 and 6 is definitely on the table.
All right. Thanks for joining us, B-Pots, and thanks for subbing in
I
last
love you,
minute for everybody.
B-Pots.
I do really appreciate you coming on.
Is this where you kick me?
Boss.
Yeah, I kicked you. Boom.
I love you, B-Pots.
I miss them already.
All right. Oh, it sends him up. I need to send him down. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is normally where I do like a cheeky advertisement or something like that, but I wanted to use this time for a little bit of uh statement. I will preface this by saying my opinion does not represent Get Wrecked as a whole or everybody else for that matter. That being said, there was an important event in quotation marks that happened fairly recently in the
Crabs.
Hearthstone.
Oh,
Let's
dang.
go, Crabs. Oh,
Dang.
Hey, he's in the
I thought you were
chat.
going to bring up something else, but that's
Okay.
important too.
Hearthstone Grandmaster competition. They had a player named Blizz Chung won. In his winter view, he said, "Liberate Hong Kong. It's the revolution of our age." In response to that, Blizzard was pretty heavy-handed. Now, I completely understand that they have this apolitical statement and they have a user agreement that they agree to, and not to bring politics and things into it. So let's cover that punishment, shall we? They kicked him out of Grandmasters completely, gave him zero prize pool, and he is not allowed to join for another month. That's a little bit excessive. Also, they fired the casters. Oh
Why
boy.
did it?
So, in their official English statement, basically they just said, "Hey, we're an apolitical organization." They made a political statement. In their Chinese viewpoint, they released a statement basically saying that they did it in order to preserve the pride of their country. Now, if you are an apolitical organization and you are doing something to preserve the pride of the country, that doesn't meet. So therefore, if we are going to be apolitical as people, as an entire unit, uh, we would also be tacitly supporting this authoritarian government, and I can't stand by that. So I just wanted to use this time to say, yo, I support the democratic protesters in Hong Kong. Fuck Blizzard. Fuck the authoritarian Chinese government, and also, fuck President Xi and his Winnie the Pooh looking ass.
I think we should over there.
Look at this.
Preach, Maris, preach.
Get my boy Dennis Rodman over there. He's good at foreign relations.
Yeah.
I totally thought you were going to ask us to speak our views, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I was
don't.
gonna plead the
No,
fifth.
I was honestly going to plead the fifth.
I'm doing this just for myself. I have a small audience here, and I wanted to make sure that at least everybody was aware of a situation that was going on, and also, yeah. So anyway, next is going to be buy or sell. We got 3 people left. It's going to be spicy or something. Anyway, I need to know, Mr. Goosey, do you buy or sell January as an MVP candidate?
Do I buy or sell Junior as an MVP candidate? I absolutely buy into that. Guy has most kills per game. I'm looking at the stats right now. 9.8. He is tied. I don't know if these aren't updated because this week hasn't been streamed yet. But highest in most kills per game. He's got the most kills overall, tied for that as well. He's not dying. He's top 10, I believe, in least deaths. The stats speak for itself. The guy's been carrying. He's been dominant. Sometimes I do stat pad a little bit, but he's not throwing his leads. I think I'm completely all in on Junior as an MVP candidate. I think actually currently is probably the front runner.
Okay, that was going to be my follow-up question. Do you think he is the MVP of the split so far?
So far, yeah, absolutely. I don't. It's hard for me to kind of put in contention with. I mean, you have Silver Spade, of course. He's been having a really good split, and honestly, as bad as I troll GSM because Levi sucks, Panther has. I think Panther's made a case for himself as well. I know that I said Godzilla earlier is a better jungler, but I think mechanically and everything Godzilla is, but the way that Panther plays with his team and plays around his team and always puts his team in a position to win, puts him in the conversation. But I think that January right now is ahead of it. I think that our team trolls a little too much for Dirty, who I think is honestly the best player in the league, Dirty Audacity, um, to be within that consideration. So sorry, buddy.
All right, so January is the MVP. Zale, do you agree with January as the MVP of the league so far?
So far, I'd have to buy that. The man has the highest KP in the league as of current stats. The man is on so many leaderboards. He's just dominant. He takes the lead he needs. He gets the lead sometimes by himself, of all things, too. And he moves with it. His team plays around him. Like the teammates he has, these picks, they're not hard carry picks. They're not, I'm going to make a giant play by myself. They play around him because they know when it comes down to it, he does what he needs to do. His stats may not be as perfect as some of the other players, but it's not about perfect stats. It's about the importance to what he does for his team, and I think he has that. I think without this player, Kaiju as a team would not be anywhere close to the power they are. I think you give him any other ADC in this league, and they just would not hold his power. I think to me that's what matters the most is if you pull him out and you give him a middle of the pack player in that role, what happens to that team? And it just to me looks like it collapses beyond belief and unsustainability.
Yeah. Cyrene, do you buy January as the MVP?
So I'm gonna give you a counter offer.
Okay.
I think Hulk is the gold MVP of this.
Yeah, that's got to be a minus points, right?
Hold on,
Well-
I thought it was a package deal. You have to have Hulk and Winged.
It is. Get him. So I still have. A
I
budget.
mean, you're not wrong, but and I'm gonna give my meme answer real quick, just because I actually think it might happen. But I'm gonna give my legitimate answer. I think Hulk will win Gold MVP for the sole reason that every single person in Gold Chat is a memer. Let's be honest here. We all know that Hulk is going to be campaigning again, and people are going to vote for him, even though he's in Black Cat now. But back to a legitimate answer, I do buy that January is going to be MVP of the split. He's again, like we were saying, Silver Spade is GSM's bot lane. Yes, GSM has these loaded stats right now. If you look at the stat page right now, 4 of their 5 members have the highest KDA. Silver Spade having a 6.4 KDA, Levi's having the KDA of 8. But January is in that fifth position with a KDA of 6.6. January is by far the reason why his team is winning. His team plays so well around him, and he plays so well around his own team. They go hand in hand with each other, and it makes him a better player. And while, yes, he might look like, oh, I'm taking all the kills, he really isn't. He is everywhere at all times of the game. He is helping his team constantly, and he honestly deserves the MVP.
I want to add something to this as well. He recently posted in Gold Chat about some personal stuff January did in his life, and I just want to say I love you, buddy, and I wish you well, and I hope you're doing better. If you guys don't know what it is, I'm not going to put his business on blast, but you can scroll up in Gold Chat and find out.
Did not see that, and I'm going to go do that now. I also wish
It's
you
a
the best,
ways up.
January.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
it,
wish him
it
well.
was it was some
Yeah,
health stuff.
definitely wish January well.
It's going to take a
Ooh,
lot.
I
Of
do
Getting
see
on,
that.
yeah, getting
do
on to
see
the next
that.
question. We're gonna shift back to Worlds for a little bit. Zale, I need to know if you're gonna buy or sell a North American team getting out of groups.
Oh goodness. You know what? I'm gonna buy that because your most likely groups are Group A and Group D. Liquid has shown that they can fight some of these Eastern teams. They've actually shared some of their success already too, and yeah, the game against Invictus was a little unprecedented, but that's because of a good point that even Froscairn brought up. Like teams have these high highs, and there's a good chart you can detect with a lot of these teams of how high their high is, but it's also how consistently they can reach that high. Invictus Gaming is having a extremely rough end to their season, and I think they're having some confidence issues too. I mean, they struggled to make the Worlds, whereas Liquid, they have their tried and true Sonateric bot lane that, even though the meta's changed a little bit, they've shown it's still effective, and with the patches, I think it's still gonna be just as strong. Even with the Blitzcrank buffs, I mean, there's no way Sona should ever be hooked to Blitzcrank at that level of play. You're gonna pull a Taric, they're gonna win that fight. I mean, what are they gonna do there? And Cloud9, I think they have a chance to beat Griffin. The Griffin's one of those teams where they have amazingly high highs, but they've been weak lately, and they've shown to not be as consistent to their high level of play. Cloud9's a bit more consistent on having a high level play. Their ceiling isn't as high as Griffin, but they're just more consistent. They have a lot more to prove this roster, and again, they have amazing organizational support and backing. Like they've gone very far every year with different rosters. It's not just one or two players, it's the backing of the company and how they support these players, how they pump up their practice, their mindsets. I mean, I think these teams both have very viable chances making out of groups.
All right, Cyrene, you buy or sell a North American team getting out of groups?
I'm buying it. So I also have Team Liquid making it out of groups in my own just head. I think Team Liquid, while Team Liquid is a very solid team, they definitely have their ups and downs. They might be a little bit cocky since they've won NA multiple times in a row now. But they know that they don't perform extremely well outside of NA. So I bet that they've been trying to win as best as they possibly can. They've been practicing for months, and I really honestly think that if they try hard enough, they will be able to take it. I don't think Cloud9 will be able to make it out of. I don't think Cloud9 will be able to make it though. I don't think that they're as strong of a team, and they are most likely going to crumble and burn.
All right, Goosey, you buy or sell a North American team?
I'm gonna buy, but I'm getting it at a discount sell. I'm not completely sold on it, honestly. I think Cloud9 finishes third in their group. I think Clutch Gaming probably shouldn't even show up and waste money on plane tickets.
Please.
So true.
And I think that Demonte is a beast, but I don't think that they have any chance, especially in their group.
I
Team Liquid is the only reason I'm buying into this, but even then, because I have Damwon taking that group. I think Damwon's going to shock some people, and I think it's a toss up between IG and Team Liquid. I could potentially see a tiebreaker game coming out of that. In all honesty, to see who takes that final spot, but I think that Team Liquid does have the slight edge in that. But I'm not completely sold.
All right. For the record, I am hard selling. This is going to be the Eastern Revival, unfortunately. And when I'm proved right, I'm going to give you all negative points to start off with if you come back on the show. All right.
That's fine.
So, buy or sell, our last topic. Cyrene, do you buy or to sell Ducks as the third best team in Gold Capped?
Ooh. Oh my god, I need to think about this one. So I've been doing Get Recalled for a while. I'm going to say sell. As much as I love Ducks and I think that they're a great team, I just don't see it going very far. Again, Goosey is great. Love you, Goosey. Please don't hurt me. Please. I think Dillinger, while yes, he's a good top laner, he does sometimes struggle a lot and he can be taken advantage of. Scrambles is very hit or miss, given he's done very well against most of the members that are on Team 63 /. So I'm very interested to see how our game goes in 2 weeks. Goosey, love the guy. I think he's the greatest League of Legends player in the world.
I give him 10 points for that.
Deserves challenger. Don't know why he's blessing us with his presence in this gold league.
True.
And then it's Dirty Audacity and Eggplant out. I think
I'm
overall
supports, you doofus.
your support. I'm just reading off of the website, but I really think that the mid lane, while yes, the mid lane and the bot lane are good, it's mediocre compared to what we've seen in previous seasons, like on Propulsion with Boar and Chex Mixin, and on Return of the Middlesticks with Boar and Chex Mixin.
I guess I'm not following. So they're not third. Where are they?
Fourth.
Fourth. Below 63?
I
Is
don't
that the
place.
argument? Or
Yeah, I'm placing us as third. I have faith
Okay.
in my team will step up.
Okay. Goosey, uh, what do you think? Are the Ducks the third best team in the league?
Are we the third? No, we're the first. Let's be real here. Okay.
Oh.
Let's be real here. Okay. And don't don't ever compare me to Boar, me and Audacity to Boar and Checks. You know, rest in peace them too. But
I'm pretty sure you did lose to one of the teams that's in the top two, though. How do you say that you're first then?
Oh.
I was lagging, so. Okay, so here's the deal. I think the Ducks have the potential to be first right now. I would actually respect the fact that GSM beat us. You know, I don't respect Levi's, although I love him and I want to be his best friend. But I'll respect the fact that they beat us first, and I would place us second. And even though I love January, here's the deal. It hinges on our our mid laner, Skylar Eggplant South, how drunk he is prior to showing up to the games. And I don't know if you guys, you know, Siren,
Please stop putting me on blast.
you said that, you know, Dillinger is easily accessible. The guy ran through the entire every top laner in gold caps last season, was the MVP in top lane last season, was rated number 1 in Shadow Isles. And then the only other
But Shadow Isles was the worst division.
the only other one that was ranked higher than him out of top laners overall was someone we no longer speak of. And we've already played them before he was banned. And Dylan was 4-0 against him in lane solo kills. So I don't think that Dillinger has any competition in top lane. Rest in peace to Irene if you choose that lane that day.
Would you like to put money on that?
So I'm 99% sure we can rearrange that. Yes. And
I'll put money on that.
I think that the Dillinger is just going to go around clapping cheeks like he has been. And, you know, now that I'm in the bot lane with Dirty Audacity and I'm enabling him, you know, I steal some of his kills quite often. I would put us in contention for one of the best bot lanes in gold caps. I wholeheartedly believe Dirty Audacity is the best player in gold caps, and not even trying to be biased there. And when he gets a chance to, I don't think any player team fights better than him. And obviously, you can't win a game with one player unless you're Kaiju. But which is why I think that we're ranked above them, because in all honesty, they have, you know, January. And that's it. So no offense, Kaiju, love you guys.
All right.
I'm selling, but I'm buying.
Oh, okay. Zale, do you buy or sell Ducks as the third best team in the league?
I'm going to sell that Ducks is third best. And I actually have many reasons, so this might take a moment. My first reason is I played bot lane against Ducks, and in a lot of the matches I played bot lane, I have never felt more dominant just starting off against them in a bot lane before. And that was like 1 week of preparation at that time too. I feel like if you're gonna have a bot lane of that caliber and you hope to finish third this split and at least get higher than third in playoffs, they need to have all your lanes stronger than what I felt like. And it felt not there. Like I feel like the synergy wasn't there when we played Ducks either. And against 63, they felt a lot more together. But I think
I would not call Team 63 / together in any means.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I would call them together if they actually gave a shit in that game.
Let's also state that the bot lane has since changed since we played you guys, and we did 2-0 you.
It didn't actually. Yeah, Skylar was mid. You walled off our sub and our support and made them cry. It was kind of tragic.
You 2-0'd us, but I mean, doesn't mean it was a clean
Let me look. Let me
or a
look.
dominant 2-0 though. Like that first game,
Oh, none of our
we just
games
got
have been fucking
outscaled.
clean.
Like,
None of
you guys
them.
just scaled us though. That was all there was to it. We were winning, I think, 5 team fights in a row in a 5-on-5. I mean, it didn't feel like there was enough dominance there to warrant calling it a top 3 team. 63, granted, as weird as they are and as much of a wild card they can be, they felt more dominant against us. Like, I think they're the only team that has actually like handed us our own ass on a silver platter before. And I think based on scheduling too, 63 has a better likelihood of winning the rest of their schedule to split comparably.
I think
I
that
just think
we've gotten our hard games out of the way. Kaiju coming up, but that 10-0 and 12 Kaiza and 3-4 and 24 Lulu. Ass whooping didn't hurt you at all.
I never died to you guys in a 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 in bot lane. I never felt that pressured. Like,
So
honestly,
are you saying that Team 63 / is not even on your radar, Goosey?
No, not at all. You guys are boosted animals.
I
I
honestly
mean,
think
you're not wrong that most of our members are boosted animals.
Hey, come
And
on,
I am
like
I love that this just oscillates between you guys shit talking each other and your own teams. Like, we can't just decide if we're all good or not. We just have to also throw everybody else under the bus.
Hold on, Maris. Quick thing. I thought Siren was not the shit talk unless he had a Romanian accent. I am disappointed right now.
He can only shit talk himself. He called the rest of his team boosted animals, which is
He
fine.
called himself Boost Animal at least
Oh,
twice.
okay, then yeah. Where's the Romanian accent?
But to
I
be
am a
honest,
boosted animal, yeah.
Oh,
God.
I don't know if that's Romanian.
it's close enough. I'm giving him a point. All
But
right.
to be fully honest though, I think 63, even with their wildcard feature, they have a more complete game plan, the more dominant laning if they care enough. And I think that even with Siren's role swapping bullshit, I really do think that their team has enough synergy of much of a game plan. Their players are strong enough where even those weird changes, they have enough understanding of how the game functions, or they can outpace Ducks in any game. And they've done that.
I'm just saying, fear the echo, man. Fear the echo.
All right, Goose. You want to defend your team? You get the last word.
do I want to defend my team?
Yeah.
I will on the split.
You're gonna leave it to the games. All right.
I'll leave it to the games. I when I signed up this split, from the get go, I 100,000% told my team that I hadn't planned on playing, and at all this split. And Dillinger, one of my best friends, IRL, wanted to play, and I told him I would do it on the premise that Dirty Audacity played with us. And I told them also that this was a strictly for fun season because I'm an 80 carry main, and right now I'm in a support lane. And I do plan on moving to plat next season. Levi's, you can follow me, or you can stay in gold, or go down.
Hey, I'll follow you, buddy. I'll follow you.
But so this is a for fun for me. This split. And I'm having fun. Gold chat. We're the most united we've ever been. But you guys have seen the Ducks. The Mighty Ducks movie. If you haven't, then you're an uncultured swine. And at the end of the day, the Ducks
I feel
won.
personally attacked.
The Ducks
I do
won.
too.
The Mighty Ducks were victorious, and that's all that matters.
Wait, Siren, you've never watched Mighty Ducks?
Not in like 10 years.
Okay, as long as you've at least seen it.
All right. That's gonna be buy or sell then. Zale, Siren, you're tied. So give me a pick. Next week we got Flex versus GMB to get out of the basement. Who's gonna win?
GMB 100%.
You agree, Zale?
Flex is a GMB. Honestly,
No, you're taking too long. You're out. All right.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Bye, Zale.
yeah, I'm gone.
Bye, Zale. I love you.
That's all he's gonna say is, "Yeah, I'm gone." All right. We got Showdown. We got Goosey. We got Siren. We might have more bets or something. I'm not really sure.
I plan out and I
the
have
pocketbooks.
made a $20 bet.
You're gonna have to cover his half of rent, Vid.
All right. As we know, if you go back on these bets, you do get banned. So bamboozle
I'm a
equals
very honorable
bamboozle.
with my bet.
Anyway, showdown time.
Also,
Uh,
Hulk for MVP, you guys. Please vote
I'll
for
join
him.
Buttons Discord if you guys ban me.
Ooh.
all right. I do want to take a step back. Let's advertise some stuff really quick. We have the podcast tomorrow night you can watch with Cyrene. Do you have a guest yet, or is it just you so far?
Because no one wants to be my guest. It's just me so far. But if someone wants to be my guest, just DM me, please. We just talk about the leagues and you can somewhat trash talk, but not really.
Okay, so someone save Cyrene from himself, but the podcast is tomorrow. We got Plat Cap like normal on Saturday. Sunday you get a special treat because I'm casting Diamond, so watch that. It's at 11 a.m. Because that's a reasonable hour for Diamond Cap to be on. But you won't want to miss some exciting games from Diamond Cap this week. So showdown time. We're just gonna go straight up. It's a toss-up. Who do you have, GSM or Kaiju Gaming tomorrow, Goosey?
I'm excited to see that. I think that as much as I want to root for my boys Kaiju, I think GSM will. Are we doing explanations as to why?
You have
Or
a
we
little
just
bit of
picking?
time. You can try to explain. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Silver Spade is a beast, and I think overall they play really well together as a team. You have to when all of them have backpacks. 4 of them have backpacks, and there's one little infant that's jumping in and out of those backpacks. He's like basically like a Yumi in real life, jumping from player to player. We're not going to say names, but he's my best friend, and I as much as I love January and I do expect his KD 80 to be high, he's going to play some hyper carries. He can't play any champions. He's going to have to make some plays. His teams are they're gonna have to focus bot, but that's the one thing that GSM is good at is they allocate their resources where it's needed. I don't know who the hell their top laner is. I don't know. So I'm gonna pick GSM. They've been playing together for a while. I don't want them to win because if Kaiju beats them and we beat Kaiju, that's a 3-way tie for first. Not that it really matters. We'll be third regardless. And honestly, it works out better for us if GSM beats them and we beat Kaiju. Because that would give us a better shot at being second.
All right. That was pretty long, but Cyrene, who do you have?
I have Kaiju winning, actually. I think, first off, with the not having a dedicated top laner right now on GSM, they aren't going to have as much synergy with whoever they send top lane, and the top laner might not be as good as who they had previously. So it could be a lack of communication, just a lack of, not having enough practice with that person. So I think the top lane is just in a worse position, and because you're basically fighting a 4v5 when it comes to good communication, it's going to be harder for GSM to win. Also in the bot lane, Junior and Crixon have blood synergy. They're cousins, man. They know exactly what's going on in each other's heads. They should be fine, and I think the matchup in the mid lane is going to be extremely good. I think Seymour is a great mid laner, but at the same time, he can be taken advantage of, and I really think that Kaiju can take it for the win.
All right. I'm giving neither of you a point because you both flip-flopped on your MVP candidates, basically. So
I said January was the MVP
I
candidate.
you said
said
Silver
that
Spade was the
dominant.
MVP. Oof.
No, I said
Let's not remember.
January. I said Silver Spade would win the bot lane.
You
but
don't get
I
a point. Next
Whoa.
question, you guys. I need your opinion about the
this
song
fish.
"Phoenix." Where does it rank among world songs?
It's
Cyrene.
actually not very good in my opinion. It's out of all the world songs, Warriors was solid. Ignite was it was pretty good. You could get into it, and it was a great Beat Saber song to play. But I listened to Phoenix, and I was just it's nothing to cry home about. I rather have another Pop Stars, honestly, even though that wasn't a world song, because Pop Stars is the greatest song of all time. Don't at me. But Phoenix, it just it does feel like a it feels like a love story for mid laners. Obviously, Faker and Caps are in it. Obviously, it's about beating your rivals, but it just doesn't rank up compared to other songs that in World, especially stuff like Rise, which we saw last year.
Okay, Goosey, where's it rank?
Here's the deal. Haven't heard it. Probably won't listen to it until Riot makes T Swift do her own song for Worlds. I'm not interested in their music. T Swift, the GOAT, and she could put all this, every one of them fucking artists to shame.
All right, I'm giving the point to Cyrene, not because you haven't listened to the song, but just Riot's music department is easily the best department at the entire company. So no, that's just a bad opinion. All right, I need to know who gets out of Group B at Worlds. Goosey, you're gonna start.
Who gets out of Group B at Worlds? Currently in my pick'ems, I have GAM Esports. You know, they remind me of the old Gamma Bears. Do you guys know them? Or are you too young?
Yeah, Gamma
Okay,
Bears was
yeah.
they had Sword Art and Steak with his
That's
afro.
what our
Yeah.
clan tag is whenever we're playing in our it's an ode to Gamma Bears. But I'm picking GAM Esports. I think they're looking pretty solid. I'm going Fun Plus Phoenix.
In that order?
Yep.
All right, Cyrene.
I actually don't remember who's in Group B right now.
It's Fun Plus Phoenix, Gigabyte Marines, J Team, and Splice.
So I think Gigabyte Marines can actually make it. I think if they meme hard enough and if they just play well enough, I think they'll be able to make it, as well as Splice will be able to make it. Let's go EU. And I don't care. You can rank 3 and 4th for yourself.
All right, Cyrene, you're gonna take a point. You're gonna take a win. Go ahead, give me a FaceTime.
This shit's rigged.
Where is?
You gave him 2 points.
Ooh. How do I just call you personally?
No, just like talk.
Oh, hi.
You're wasting your own time.
Thank you guys. I'm so happy that I won. Please vote Hulk for MVP. He honestly deserves it. He's the best gold player in gold capped right now. You should vote Hulk for MVP.
You're gonna
Team
use your
63
FaceTime to. All right, I should have given Goosey the win. This stuff should have been rigged better. All right. I regret everything.
Better. You guys hear that? Rigged better. Cyrene's the closest non-Get Wrecked member to being a Get Wrecked member. Okay.
Hey, I've kicked my own teammates out in 3rd place every single week, so I don't want to hear it. Anyway, we're going to take a week break. Next week, I don't know who we have planned, but if you're interested in being on this show, as per usual, just message me. You can spout some head-ass opinions like all these 4 guys did.
Look at the scoreboard.
I have great head-ass opinions, by the way.
I win.
I'm giving B+.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Bye.
All right, thanks guys for joining us. We'll see you next week.
See you. Love you,
Bye,
Levi's.
guys.
Bye, Levi's.